like to thank you guys for being here. And Butcher, you're alright. The things you do for the community and the things you do don't go unnoticed by everyone here, and I really appreciate your support throughout the book and throughout the tour and putting this all together because it means a lot to me. Geez, you're a good guy. Thank you to skycity for letting us have the venue here and putting it on for us. Like I said, it definitely means a lot to me. I don't really even know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll just try something anyway. It all started, I had an approach, before I start, I was going to thank one man last night at dinner, but I didn't want to do it when it was just us. I wanted to do it in front of a lot of people. When I wrote this book, I wanted to make sure that it came out the way I wanted to say it, and without the help of Glenn Jackson, who I think done a tremendous job and really expressed the way I was expressing it to him, he was able to put into words and make you really feel what I was actually thinking. So, Glenn, thank you for all the hard hours that we put in together and putting up with some of my bullshit. And I think you've done a great job, and I'm really proud of the way it turned out. So, Glenn, thank you very much. Well, I've been sort of whoring myself out to the country lately, doing this tour, and with the help of the publishing company, I've got a couple of publicists here who have been running around buying me socks for this event, and doing a great job. I'd really like to thank you guys also for the opportunity to write the book and for the great job you've done with not only the cover, the photos, and everything, putting it together. So thank you very much for shit. You can clap if you want. It was a pretty tough exercise because at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to write this book. It really was like not many people do it when they're still playing. And then when I sat down and really thought about why I should do this or why I should write a book, and in the end it was pretty simple. Growing up, my mum had me at a young age. I come from a very big family, and my mum's the youngest, and she had me when she was 16. And I was born without knowing my father, and I still don't know him to this day. And I was very lucky because I had 9 uncles around me who acted at one stage in my life like fathers to me. And not only that, I was very lucky that my uncle, who I actually got named after my Uncle Benji, his wife's parents actually wanted to adopt me and take me in as their own. And my mum, she didn't want that to happen, but she said, my other parents, who I call mum and dad also, they said, all right, well, we'll look after him on weekdays while you go to school and you do your education, and you can have him back on weekends. So I'm probably the only person, maybe, or there might be someone else in New Zealand who's got 2 mums and 1 dad. The fact that I don't know my real father, I don't really give a shit, to tell you the truth, because I've had so many father figures throughout my life that I haven't really needed to know my real father anyway. And back to what I was saying about why I wrote this book, there's a lot of kids, not only in New Zealand, but in Australia and in the world, who grow up and in the same manner. They don't have a lot of money, there's always a lot of love. And I suppose when I was growing up, I never dreamt that I'd be writing a book or even sitting in front of you guys or even captaining the Kiwis, let alone making the Kiwis. So I think for me, if I can give kids who come from the same background that I've come from and done the same things that went through the same experiences that I went through, that there's hope that they can make it to where I am today, that's what the book's about. And for me, that's the main thing, because when you're growing up and you're going through adversity, you can only dream about what you want to be, but getting there's the hard part, which takes me back to how I actually got there. It was a pretty tough journey for me because, when I was growing up, I was always taught from a young age, all my uncles, geez, they were assholes, they taught me about being tough. And I remember when I got caught stealing when I was about 8, I stole a K-bar from the local shop, 25 cents, and I had $5 in my pocket. But I got caught stealing, and my mum said, all right, I'm going to ring up one of your uncles, and 4 of them turned up. And I thought it was funny. I was laughing, and then one of my uncles, my Uncle Phil, said to me, well, boy, I'm going to kick your ass so you can't sit down for 2 weeks. And I started laughing, and he started kicking. And no joke, when I went to school, I was embarrassed because I couldn't sit down on the desk. He kicked my ass that hard. But I tell you what, I never stole again. That's, and that's just how it was growing up. It was hard and it was tough love. And for me, throughout my whole life, it was always about being the tough one and not showing any emotion, showing confidence, and I've gone through my whole career doing that. And to tell you the truth, most of it's been a lie, because behind all the confidence and behind all it might look like arrogance, and behind all the injuries where I'll come back and pretend it's okay, it was never okay. And throughout this whole writing the book, I got to learn a lot about myself, and and that was the best part about it, because I thought I knew everything about myself, but I didn't. In actual fact, I found out that throughout my career, I found it hard to ask my own family for help throughout the tough times, because for me, they looked up to me like I was a strong one. So I couldn't say to them, to any of my uncles, look, I need help, because I felt like they'd laugh at me and think I was weak. When in actual fact, the time that I did ask for help was when I thought about giving the game away in 2007 after my 5th shoulder reconstruction. And I was pretty serious about giving up playing, and I've been through so many ups and downs, and one man, my father, talked me out of it and gave me all the reasons why I should carry on playing. And it made sense, and I asked him for help, and that's the first time I ever asked any of my family for help. And the response I got was just the opposite of what I thought. I thought it was going to be weak, I thought it was going to be soft, when in actual fact it was hard, it was stronger to ask for help. So throughout the book I'm saying, especially to kids, like, if you need help, it's okay to ask for help. If you want to cry, it's okay to cry. Growing up, I thought, you're a sook if you cry. Well, now it's not a bad thing. And if you want help from someone, if you're going through trouble, you can ask your mates, and you should be able to ask your family. And and that's what I learned about myself. And I thought it was tough, but I was hiding behind this confidence thing. And a lot through the book, like, a lot of people think they know you from what they see you on TV or how they see you on the field. Murray touched on it at the start, and in actual fact, that's not me. I might put on a front sometimes, might act like I'm arrogant, sometimes even cocky, or even stuff like that. But in actual fact, I'm just a normal person. I'm a human being, and that's the best thing about this book, is that I got to find all that stuff out about myself. And along the way, along my journey, I never got to thank a lot of people. I lived with probably 40 different families throughout my time, and throughout the book it gave me a chance to thank everyone who's helped me throughout my career and helped me get to where I am. And I'm really thankful to that I got that opportunity. And all the fears that I had about writing this book, about I thought some people were going to criticise some of the things I'm thinking, but you know what? Who cares? This is my book. At the end of the day, there's things that I talk about in there, what it's like sometimes to be me, and it might look like a glamorous life, it might look like, you're up, it's mad, you're up there, you look a superstar, whatever they're calling you, but at the end of the day, it's good when you get to pull the jersey on and play with your mates and play with your teammates, but there's another side to this world that I struggle to deal with. And I touch a lot about it on the book, because it's a tough life, and I make no apologies for saying the things I say in the book, because that's how I really feel. There's times when I just can't handle the media scrutiny over there. I just can't deal with the pressure of sometimes being who I am. And like I said, I'm just a person. And at the end of the day, the book's about how I feel and what I think. So some of the criticism I've copped, I'm happy to cop, because I'm just telling my story, and I think it's a great story on the things that I've had to overcome throughout my career to get to where I am. I'm only 26 now. And you know what? The moment I made the Kiwi, or the first time I made the Kiwis, Butcher was the manager, and it was the best day of my life. I grew up, probably sounds funny, I grew up wanting to be an All Black, but the day I started playing rugby league, I wanted to be a Kiwi. And to get that chance to pull on the black and white jumper, and to be a part of a culture where it's unlike any other team, it is just, honestly, it's like a brotherhood, and any of the boys will tell you, when you're a part of it, it feels like you're home. And for me, not being able to be home, getting to the Kiwis was my home. And then after that, winning a World Cup, 4 nations, all that, that was top of the world stuff. But for me, getting the opportunity to be the captain of the Kiwis was, at first I was a bit hesitant, because Roy Asatasi was the captain at the time, and I was only 24, and I always felt like I was a leader and always led by example. I just didn't think I was the man for the job at the start. And I've slowly grown into that role now where, I really enjoy it. I like leading the boys. I like being, the front for the boys and talking to the media and being that sort of person. And, the day I got to be the captain and the first time I actually led the team out, standing at the front of that line while you sing the anthem, there's no better feeling. I mean, you stand there, you look to the sky, and it's hard not to get emotional. And when you're standing at the front of that line, it's just like I honestly can't even explain it. It's the best feeling ever. So I could go on all day about a lot of things, but I won't. I'll leave some stuff so you can read it in the book, so you have to buy it. But no, look, I really want to thank everyone for their support throughout my career, and for you all being here today means a lot to me, especially to my manager, New Zealand Rugby League, and all the friends and family and support that I have here. I really do appreciate it, and I'm happy to sign books and have photos and whatnot after this. But that's me. This is my story. That's my book. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't, go home. No, thank you. Look, I'll stop there because I could go on forever. But thanks for everyone for being here.
Benji, can I just say this to you? I love all players, but I love you particularly because I believe you are a show pony, but you're a wonderful show pony. I can honestly say this, I love the fella. I genuinely love the fella. He's been a great, I always remember when I got him as the manager, I thought, oh, this guy's cocky, but he was a wonderful, and I'm very proud to call you a friend, Benji, very, very proud. Let me say that, mate. And I don't say that too often, only about 100 times a day. Okay. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask Benji? I'll bring the mic down. And put your hand up if you've got a question. Blake, down the bottom, over here.
Firstly, big raps on 2011 for you. Like, it was a pretty full-on crazy year. And how did you separate your football side from the personal side after all the dramas that you had to go through?
Yeah, it was tough. I'd never been arrested before. I'd never seen a courtroom before. And to have all this thing weighing over you where the worst part was, from legal advice, I couldn't comment to anyone about what had happened. So what was actually getting written in the papers about me being guilty and me actually hitting this guy was never true. So I could never tell anyone that I was innocent. And that was the hardest part, because people in my family were actually believing what they saw in the paper. And my friends would say, well, you should have given them a good hiding. But the thing is, I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So it was very hard to put that aside and try and concentrate on playing. But I was lucky. Like, I'd sit down with Tim Sheens whenever a court case or court date come around and have to try and get past it. There were times when I couldn't handle it, and I almost sat out a couple of games because of it. But it's the main reason I got through it is because at the end of the day, when you get on the field, that's the only time you can forget about all the bullshit that's happening around you, and the only time you get to where you don't want to let your mates down. And that was the best part about it. Playing was an actual way of getting away from it. So not wanting to let your mates down and doing the hard yards was pretty much what got me through. Great question, by the way.
Benji, Cody Aldred, I met you when you were 15 years old. I was with Noel Hawke here, a good friend of yours, at the Parville Rugby Club. And mate, I've got to tell you something, mate, how much of an inspiration you are. I've got a little 6-year-old daughter. She's Chinese, from Jilin in northeast China. And she watches you every single time. I'll try to watch the Warriors, she wants to watch the Tigers, so I've got to turn over the Tigers. But mate, you're an inspiration to my little daughter, and I thank you for that. But I want to ask you a question, Benji. You're 26 years old now. Have you ever contemplated, or would you contemplate, or have you ever been asked to think about playing for the All Blacks?
Well, my manager's here if you want to ask him. Look, we've had offers on the table to play rugby before. But you know what, man? Without any disrespect to anybody, I get a little bit bored. It's not fair. I used to play rugby, and I just love playing league so much more. And to me, the opportunity of playing for the Kiwis pass and being captain of your country is too much to pass up to even think about it. So for me, I've got 4 years left at the Tigers, so I'm fucked.
I can tell you, sir, Graham Henry's a very good friend of mine, and he talks to me a lot about Benji. And he's often said, "You think you'd turn over?" And I won't give you a fucking number to be clear. Any other questions? Any other answers? Oh, that's right, I did. But he got me 4 All Black jerseys signed, to be fair. They were doing about 5,000 each for the Benny, so I got $20,000. We can get your phone number.
Benji, just wondering if you'd be putting your hand up for Fight for Life in the future.
Bro, I've done enough of that. Didn't you just hear what I answered? Oh, that's right, I didn't do anything. Shit. Nah, man. I'm a lover, bro. I don't fight. Kevin Locke's keen, though.
When are you coming to the Warriors, and what do you think of our very own Benji Johnson?
Oh, cuz, look, I'm on contract with the Tigers for another 4 years, so it's hard for me to even contemplate switching, you know. And when you got a guy like Sean Johnson coming through, who's probably one of the most exciting talents in the world, they don't need me, cuz. They got Simon Mannering there, they got Sharky Brown down there, Kevin Locke's all right. Nah, they don't need me, bro. Anyway, they spend all their money on Simon anyway, so it's nothing left for me.
Hey, you say in your book that you had Maccas before the grand final. After Woody's
Trust you to ask me that. Boy.
Do you still have Maccas before a big game, or?
Oh, I don't do that anymore. So back then I was probably young, man, and you take it for granted a lot then. But I was hungry and there was nothing open. So I made combo cheeseburgers. That's just how it was back then, man. I don't do that anymore though, bro. I still have a Big Mac a week though. Starting the show in the bum too.
Kia ora, Benji. Keep 90, mate.
Oh, dude.
You put anything in your book about playing for Taifakaya?
Yeah, forgot that one, cuz.
First year's coach.
That's the one.
We used to put our team, Whakatane, against our team in Taifakaya. We used to have the whole team just on him and under, what are you, about 8 years old then? 8 or 9? Yeah.
That's when I could tackle, bro.
See you, bro. Tēnā koe.
Cheers.
Lady here, Benji.
Good afternoon, Benji. My name's Barbara Murphy. Fanatic Tiger supporter, so I'm glad you're staying there. Sorry, Bluey. I am a Warriors supporter as well. Except when the two of you play against one another. Benji, my question, once you've finished with the league, whether it be the Tigers or what have you any thoughts of going to the UK or just coming back to New Zealand and possibly, do some coaching for some of the younger teams?
Well, my last memories of the UK are not that good, so don't really want to go back there anytime soon. Look, if I can't match up with the best of them here, it's too cold for me over there, and I've got arthritis in my shoulder already, so it's too cold in the mornings. But no, I think once I can't play here, if I'm not good enough here, I won't be good enough.
Hi Benji. Hi, sorry. Nice to see you. And I just wanted to ask, I work with a whole lot of troubled youth, 16 to 18 year olds, the good old age, and they also have very few role models, male role models, and a lot of them don't have fathers or uncles. What kind of message would you give to them if I was to luckily get you to talk to them? Hello, your manager. Luckily, to get you in front of them, what kind of message would you give them, and what can I take back to you?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter who's around you, it's what you want to do yourself. But I'm very lucky, like I've been surrounded by a lot of good people. My manager's put me on the straight and narrow and gives me a budget still, so I can't even spend my own money, I have to ask for my own money. But I think, when you're growing up and you don't have people around in your life, you just need support from other people. So I think the more people we get around supporting our troubled youth who don't have those male role models around, the better off they're going to be. So support, I think, is the biggest thing, and the more support they have, the better off they'll be.
Yeah, hi Benji. Arthur Beetson recently passed away. Did you meet him? And he was a Queenslander originally, as we all know, but I think he made his name at Balmain. What's the feeling amongst the club? And first of all, did you meet him? How did you find him? He's one of the great players from Australia, as you know. And what's the feeling amongst the club, especially amongst the the old timers that have been here for some time.
Yeah, look, it's a very sad story there with Artie. Yeah, I met him once a while back, and that was when his job has been lately is recruiting. We recruited a lot of my mates, and did he recruit you, Lewis? To play for the Roosters? And he's done
a lot of good work for rugby league, and I know with a couple of the old timers, I can only quote what I've read in the papers because I've been promoting my book over here. But yeah, look, it's a sad story, and the feeling in the club was very sad. They put out a press release, and a lot of the boys who could make statements about it. But you know, it's a very sad story. One of the legends of our game and one of the greatest of all time passing away. So you know, condolences to him and his family, and yeah, very sad.
But what we do it, Benji? Hey, your members have told me how you're a spender. You do love spending, don't you, Benji? How's your mother, incidentally?
Barry, stop ringing it.
It's not what I wanted to say.
No, it's true, stop ringing it.
She's changed the number to be fair.
I would too.
Benji, it's been a pleasure, great honour. Benji's going to sign autographs now if you want a photo taken. Give us a kiss. We've got one thing to do before you go there, Benji. Darren, can you come up? You played in the All Goals. We've got one of the jerseys you signed, the team signed. And we're going to auction that off for a little bit of charity, just a bit of fun here, Benji. And you'll have a photo with whoever buys it and sign it to them directly. Yeah, hope you've got a pen. Get down there.
Well, a great opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for an all-gold jersey. We've sold a number of these over the times. It's a beautiful piece, and certainly one that you'd be very proud to hang in your bar or your games room or what have you, and a great tool piece. So, ladies and gentlemen, a great opportunity. Let's go. Who's got, say, 500 to start me there for the jersey? Benji signed it. They'll take a photo with you. Who's got a 500 a little bit anywhere? 500 a little bit anywhere? I'll take you two. 2 and there's 2 and 3. At 300 now, make it 4. At 300 out the back, who's got 4? At $300, 4. At 4 now and 5. 5 here to the left. At 5, we've got 6 at the back. At $600, who's got 7? At 600, we sell. Are you done? At 7. 7, maybe 8. Who's got 8? At 7 here, we sell. All done at 700. 8. Make it 9. 800 here, 9. 1,000 if you like at the back. At 900 we sell. It's 1,000. All done. Going. Thanks very much for your bid. Congratulations.
Thank you, Benji. Thank you very much, Benji. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a short break, then we're going to get the author up for 5 minutes to find out what it was really like working with you, Benji. Okay, let's have a round of applause for my name is Benji.